Hi, my name is Summer and I shop secondhand for items that I can add to my own collection or that I'm able to sell on eBay. I found a few free listings on Facebook Marketplace, and so I picked those up during the weekend. And on the weekend I went to a few yard sales. They had their free boxes, and then I also picked up quite a few fun little items. So I'll go through and show you what I grabbed. I got an email from eBay telling me that I am now a top-rated seller. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what all that entails or entitles me to, but I do know that it's going to bring down my cost on shipping. Thank you everyone that has visited the shop. It's called Thrift Wizard on eBay. Since the last time we hung out, I have made a few sales. A few of the things actually I'm not even able to show you today because I've already sold them during the week and sent them out. One of them was Bad Santa and Badder Santa. Went to a yard sale and all of their DVDs were 2 for $1. I also picked up Minecraft. I believe they are the essential, it's like the essential handbook, the red code handbook or something along those lines, but I got all 4 of them and I sold that within a day or two of listing, and that's already been out. So good week for sales. I sent out 7 packages today, not counting those 2 items I just told you about. So sales are going really good. Yay! So yes, earlier in the week I went to Volunteers of America and I was able to pick up these Barbie McDonald's. Oh, that's the back of it. I think I've got 7 of them still in package, so I do have those listed. This one though is Lock It Surprise Ken. The packaging wasn't completely sealed down here, but I was able to pull him out, and his head moves and everything. I thought that was super cool. Doc Ock. He'll be going with my Spider-Man stuff, so that's exciting. I always like grabbing the villains especially, and I'd love to tell you exactly why, but I'm not 100% sure because it's not like I'm like rooting for the villains. However, I feel like you don't see the villains as often as like you'd see Spider-Man hanging around. So it's probably just my own head, but I feel like they're a little more rare if there is such a thing. Because really, I mean, they're just plastic toys I'm picking up. But anyway, picked up the Inquisitor. I don't know if he was supposed to have like any other items that go with him. I don't believe so because the character doesn't have any other accessories that I remember from the show, but I just thought he looked so cool, so we got the Inquisitor. Only paid $1 for him. And then I had to double check with my husband because I couldn't really remember who this was. I knew he looked like Boba Fett, but I'm like, he's not the right color. It's Jango Fett. Duh. I want to say his dad. I mean, it's Boba Fett's dad, but he was the clone father for all of the Jango Fett. Also grabbed another Stormtrooper because, I mean, you always end up needing, you know, however many to throw at the rebels. I also found Baze. There is a spot here, I think, so I think he's supposed to have the guns that he carries in Rogue One, but I didn't find them. I didn't find them when I was looking. I did pay $1 for him though, but I hadn't seen another one like him, so I was like, yeah. Picked this guy up for $1. I believe this is Carnage from Venom because he's red, and he does have these little appendage guys coming off the back of him, and I thought that was a really cool looking one, so grabbed him. Then I also have Spider-Man here. He looks to be Spider-Man before Tony upgraded all of his armor, or his suit. So this would be before Homecoming, I'm assuming. Oh, but probably before Civil War, actually. Yeah, before Civil War. I believe this is Nightwing. I don't think it's Nighthawk. Nighthawk is something else. I believe this is Nightwing though from Batman. And I gotta say, I don't know if you can tell, his hair is phenomenal. I know that wrestling action figures and memorabilia can sell, but I don't know enough about them, and I'm not sure who this is. The mic does say WWF, and I was under the impression that they had to like change, you know, their acronym or something, but I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure this is Vince McMahon, or is it his son? I feel like his son kind of comes out as well. I don't know, but wrestling dude. This was also a surprise in the bottom of that tub of free things I got. American Gladiators. I don't know how many of you remember the show. I remember, you know, watching it and just thinking, oh wow, that's so cool. Okay, well then I watched a like documentary. I think it was on HBO, like behind the scenes, and those people were really getting hurt. I mean, it was crazy. However, if you find them, they will sell loose like this. I think I feel like it was only 2 or 3 of them were selling for $10, but I saw another listing that was, I think it was 4 of them new in package for $100. And then there's also like a jousting ring and a few other different play sets that you can get for them, and those seem to be selling. But again, I don't know. I mean, they're going whether they're new or loose out of a box. So however, the price, it seems to vary. This is, I believe it is Cobra Commander, G.I. Joe, and I recognize it was G.I. Joe because of his little cape in the back here, but I do believe he's supposed to have a helmet that goes with him and a few other weapons. Now, I may have gotten his weapon because this tin was in that free box, and in it I've got all, if you can see, this is all G.I. Joe accessories. So there's shoes in here, there's guns, there's knives, swords, whatever. This I thought was really cool. It's like an old fabric canteen holder, but I don't know enough about, you know, the G.I. Joe market to say, oh, this is, you know, these are gonna go. But I do have a weapons cache of just other things I've been collecting as I find weird things, and then but for some reason it didn't occur to me, people will purchase weapon accessories for dolls just like they do for Barbie. Because I mean, I found a bunch of Barbie shoes, also in a free bin. There was a yard sale with huge pile of free stuff, and I think what it was is there was a bit of rain, and they just didn't want to have to dig through and figure out what was okay and what to toss. They just put it all in the free spot. Well, I dug out a bunch of Barbie shoes, necklaces, purses, all kinds of things. And at another yard sale later on in the day, same thing, a big box full of toys that they had just tossed everything in. And I dug around to the bottom, because that's usually where all of these go, and pulled them all out, and I pretty much got them for free. It was my last yard sale, so I only had like $2, and I was trying to pick up, I think there was something else there I was getting as well. But yeah, they were like, no, that's totally fine. It's, you know, I'm assuming they watched me on the ground digging through, but I had the best time. But yeah, so there were some matches I found in here. I can't find the other match to it right now in here, because there's a lot in here, but I found the one. There's the other ones in there, but look at this thing. Looks like a high heel with leg warmers, and I'm not really sure. I feel like it's an 80s thing that they were going for. I don't know, but yeah, I was really excited, and there are quite a few matches I was able to find, but I did find some that were just single shoes. And what I'm doing is I am keeping all of the single shoes or even earrings that are supposed to have a match to it. And I think it was on Pinterest or something, where they took a bunch of Barbie single shoes and put them on a canvas in a rainbow. And it just looked so cool to see. It was cool to see repurposed into a form of art, but also to see all these little teeny tiny pieces, but when you're far away, just kind of like a Monet, you know. As far as the G.I. Joe stuff goes, though, one of the cooler things I found was this gas mask, and it feels kind of weird to be like, oh, look at all of my toy weapons, but it's made of fabric, you know, for the hood or whatever. I don't know, I just hadn't seen anything really like it, and whether it's vintage or not, I don't know. But then there was also some boots, and this looked like an astronaut boot to me. I didn't find the match to it, but I had this thought of, because my husband collects space and aeronautical things, and thought it would be kind of neat to put some space gear together or something, but I don't know. In those free boxes were some magic cards, and I don't know how many of my viewers play Magic or really know what it is, but it's a TCG trading card game, and I highly recommend grabbing, especially if they're in the free box, grabbing whatever Magic cards you find, because you never know which one's going to be worth money. These are just one soldier tokens, and I don't believe there's any special ones, because there's some tokens that could be worth money because they're from a set that, you know, only that one artwork was done on it. But, you know, if you find a stack of Magic cards, you could have something in there that's worth quite a bit of money. Because what happens with Magic is that they will put out the new set, and so something that was a common or uncommon in a previous set suddenly is worth a lot more money, because in the new stuff it's a rare, and it becomes something they're able to use on the Pro Tour. And sometimes, because it's an older card, a lot of people just don't even realize they have the thing. I use a website called tcgplayer.com. Usually that's what I and other Magic users, or Magic players use. If you play Magic, you know exactly what card this is. But yeah, so Magic cards are definitely worth grabbing, and, you know, worst comes to worst, there is a local gaming shop in most big cities where you can take cards and ask, hey, can you take a look at them? And most shops are, I mean, especially the owners and other players, they're usually really accepting and wanting and welcoming to folks that are wanting to learn the game or just have more questions. The yard sale that had they had a huge amount of free stuff because of the rain, I found these scuba backpacks for Barbie, which I was like, oh my goodness, I've never seen ones, that's really cool. And then the yard sale I went to at the end of the day and dug around, I found these goggles, and even though it's orange and yellow, but I got 2 pinks, and I was like, well, I feel like those would go together. So I guess what I'm saying is, even though I picked up a lot of single shoes, I might find a pair for it later, so always worth getting. I guess I shouldn't say always worth getting. It depends on if you've got the space to store it. We are moving soon, so I will have a room for my office, for my regular job, and then I can also store all of my eBay stuff in there, as well as whatever crafty items we have. So I'm hoping to be a little more organized, and I also want to have a shelf that's, you know, things to be listed, as far as things I'm waiting to find more items of, such as more books or more, you know, more movies to make a set of, or more action figure stuff or accessories. This isn't necessarily a toy, but it does have, this is a Black Panther Funko Pop coin wallet, and the tag is still on it. This was in a free bin, and I mean, with the rain, I think, again, they just tossed it. But I believe these are going for, I saw one going for about $5 on eBay. And when you pick it up for free, seems worth getting. This little guy was also in the free bin. I wasn't sure what he was. His mouth is hinged, and I just couldn't figure it out. I ended up using Google Lens, and it's from something called ABC gum. I assume that stands for already been chewed gum, and this, I believe, is a gum saver. And again, they don't look like they were going for very much. However, there are other vintage candy containers that are. I don't know if you guys remember the metal container for the Ouch bubble gum. Those seem to be selling, I want to say, for about $15. And then there's also I think the one that was really selling was the beeper candy that was going. So So yeah, vintage gum, and even like just the containers, they don't have to be new and in the package. The like the bubble gum in a jug, I remember that. I remember those, but just the empty jugs can be sold. So okay, had to put my hair up, getting kind of hot. Like this one I'm super excited about. It is Loki. I'm really excited. This one was like, I think this one was 50 cents. And yeah, this is definitely going to be mine. I also grabbed this Demon Slayer shirt. I assume it's a manga, but it's not one that I am familiar with. But I thought I would give this one a try. And then there was a couple bags of clothes that were also free with all of the toys. And in it was this really nice Spider-Man jacket. It's quilted on the inside. Yeah, it's just really nice, and zips up and everything. It looks like it's a size 5'6", but says Amazing Spider-Man on the sleeve, so I'm assuming it's you know, the younger guys. Have got a few of the different action figures as well. So, but this one I was pretty excited about too. Good condition, Spider-Man. I don't really pick up sewing patterns, but I figured I would go ahead and take a look just to see what was there. I think they were like 10 cents a piece or something. But this Butterick Cabbage Patch patterns, now it is opened, they're obviously cut. But I don't know, Cabbage Patch, I just thought I'd give it a try. And these are not doll clothes, these are for little kids, to make clothes for them. I also found woozles. Now these aren't going for, these ones in particular are opened. I did find 2 of them. These are opened and cut patterns, so they don't really go for very much. The sealed ones seem to be going for maybe $5-6. But if you get all of them, I think there are 6 different characters you can get. Those are going for, I think like $30 or something along those lines, which I guess that makes sense if they're about $5 a piece when they're uncut. But either way, I grabbed them, and I figured that, because there's other times when you'll see free patterns at yard sales, so we'll see what I find. And my mom sells a lot of patterns on eBay, so I don't know, thought I'd give it a try. This is a doll clothes Butterick pattern. It says it's a crafting pattern, and does say, you know, one size. Doesn't specifically say. I'm sure there's a copyright thing for it, but yeah, these are for doll clothes, and I don't believe they're going for much on its own. But if you have, you know, a bundle of them, they would go on eBay. Sure, shoes, I've worn them, I don't know, like 20 years. I probably shouldn't say that, but I've worn them for a long time. And these, I believe, would go above the shoes in the store. The back of it looks like, you know, looks like it would just kind of fit into whatever pegs they have when they set the store up. And some advertising and marketing for certain companies will sell, like if these said Nike, you know, I would be a little more sure that they would sell. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with these. I didn't see any completed or sold listings on eBay, so we'll see what happens with them. I'm really not sure what's going to happen. Picked up this wallet from the free box as well. I opened it because you never know what's going to be inside, even though they're in a free box. I don't know. I just am always like, make sure there's nothing in there. But I opened it and it says free people, and then it says vegan. I'm assuming it means that because this is leather, I'm assuming that it's made out of plant material. But they seem to be going for about $15. So, you know, grabbed it out of the free bin and figured, see what happens. I feel like that's like my slogan now. Let's see what happens. Point and shoot digital cameras seem to be valued, and I've heard that it's because they no longer sell them like this. I don't know if it's because smartphones now, they just don't really go. I'm not sure. But they do take AA batteries and an SD card, and then they can be connected to your computer to pull things that way off of them. My mom had talked about wanting to find one because when she does her eBay stuff, it's easier for her to go through and get all the pictures done and then go and list. Whereas I'll usually like take pictures with my phone and then go and list right on my phone through the eBay app. So I mean, everybody, you know, has their own way of doing things. I usually tend to take the photos and list everything, and then I'll go in and delete the photos. It probably is a longer process than it needs to be, but that's what I've been doing. Either way, these cameras were in the free box. So even if they don't work, I have not tested them yet. Even if they don't work, I'm not out anything. But I mean, I really am thinking they should be fine, because I mean, they weren't with like the other wet stuff that was in the free box that I saw. So we'll see what they do. I did talk about Magic the Gathering a little bit earlier when I was talking about the tokens, but it is produced by a company called Wizards of the Coast, and they have a very specific logo so when I saw this sitting on the table, the Wizard of the Coast logo is really why I picked it up, because otherwise it's just a dude on a horse. But I decided to go ahead and grab it because it is sealed. When I did the search on eBay for this one, I didn't find a sold one with this exact pattern or image, but the ones I did see were still the Fantasy Series ones, and they were selling between $15 and $20. Looking at plushies, because I have found that you can normally get them for a relatively cheap price and be able to resell them, you know, and make a good amount. However, you don't want to just grab, oh, that's Lion King, or oh, that's you know, that's Mickey, just because they are mass produced. So I usually try to look for ones that are a little bit different. Now, I did pick up this one. This is Lion King. However, this is the Broadway musical version, and this is Simba. So the one that I saw that really seemed to sell for quite a bit was Baby Simba. This one, the adult Simba, he goes for between $7 and $10 depending. Now, he doesn't have a tag on him, so you know, I would think he would probably go for the low end. This is your brain. I did not realize, I don't know why, that they made plushies of of a human body. So you could also get a liver or a heart or pancreas or whatever. I did know that they made plushie diseases, and I remember I made clay versions of them called Love Bugs. I know I didn't make that up myself. I'm sure I got it from Pinterest or something. But this guy in particular is your brain, and it's from a company called I Heart Guts, and the tag on it does show that there are several different parts that you can get. You could also get your inner ear, elbow, a muscle, esophagus. I mean, there's a lot. Sinuses, pineal gland, spleen. I don't think that he is going for much. I think I feel like it was one of those where it was iffy if it was more than $5. But if you have a couple of them, great. But this guy, I think I'm going to end up keeping for myself because it's a brain plushie. That's fantastic. Jiminy Cricket here was $1.25. Now, I know I just said don't pick up any old plush like Mickey Mouse and think, oh my god, you know, that'll work, or you know, that should sell. I went ahead and got him because I didn't think that Jiminy Cricket is one that, first off, he's not one that I see a lot of as far as plushies go, and I think he's a sidekick that people would still collect, just like people that like Tinkerbell, or people that like Mushu, you know, the little sidekicks for the main characters. So I did go ahead and pick him up just to see what would happen. No tag on him as far as, you know, the tag that came with him. Tag on it just says Disneyland Walt Disney World, so maybe it's something from the actual park. And it seems like when you find plushies that are from the actual park, not just, you know, the Disney store you can find anywhere in any mall, or, you know, any old shop out there. But I do believe that the ones from the actual park are worth more. So we'll keep an eye on her, and yeah, I'm curious to see if this will go. from the free pile, this little Kirby guy. I found Tommy Pickles in the free pile as well. And again, I really think it's just because he had gotten a little wet, but I mean, it was like there was just like a light sprinkling. I mean, he was fine. The issue is that there's no diaper on him and that he has no shirt, which it's just a white diaper and a light colored blue shirt. So most likely I would be able to find replacements for it, but
let's go on an adventure.
He still talks, which honestly I didn't know until I was playing with it, and it scared the heck out of me. But yeah, it still talks, and I should be able to replace the clothes that are missing from it. But I mean, it's a good quality. This is a hard plastic on top, obviously. I did it again. But I don't know. It just seemed I didn't want to leave them. And I did see though that they're selling for about $35. And again, though, that's with his clothes and whatever else. So we'll keep a lookout, and hopefully we'll find the clothes to go on them and put them up. In a free box was this Disney Power Bubble. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but that is Elsa. And they do seem to be going for $20 new in the box. And I got it out of the free box. A couple of the other movies I did pick up as well that are still sealed. This Blu-ray, Ghost Protocol. The new Mission Impossible is coming out, so I figured, well, Mission Impossible will be on people's mind, and with it being a Blu-ray sealed one, I figured that would be a good one to try and see if it'll go. I don't really care for the Mission Impossible movies, but I know other people out there do. Otherwise, he wouldn't still be making them. This is not a sealed one. However, I'm a little more forgiving when it comes to kids movies, whether they're still sealed or not. I did check, the disc is in here, and I really recommend, even if you're at yard sales, you're at thrift stores, anywhere where it's not sealed, make sure you're opening and checking, because I've gone to yard sales where I opened it up just to see, okay, how many discs is it, and there's no disc in the case at all, and so always check. And then also the VHS tapes, you want to make sure you're checking, because the tape inside may not match what's on the case. There was a Barney one I found where the VHS was a Barney VHS, but the case was for a different Barney movie. So I did still sell it, but I made sure I put in there that the case didn't exactly match. I used to love playing this game, although I will say it was very confusing. I ended up having to look up cheat codes because I just didn't really know where to go or what to do. I don't know if anyone else felt that way about it. But yeah, the game missed. I believe there are 4 games altogether. This is the first one. And I mean, the box was a little water damaged, but the disc is fine, and the instruction books are okay. Look to be selling for about $20 on eBay. Now, if you have the other 3, so 4 altogether that go with it, they will sell for more. But yeah, I mean, $20 for something that someone else had just tossed. This is Deer Hunter, and then also Deer Hunter 3 Gold. The discs are in here though, as are the instruction books, and they're selling for about $15. I'll probably end up putting them together and selling them, but I wasn't sure what would happen, especially with PC games, because I know that people play World of Warcraft, and The Sims, but I haven't really heard of any other current PC games that people are playing. But maybe I'm just not paying attention. I'm always on the lookout for Lego. This is a new in package Animal Crossing one. Animal Crossing isn't really something that I know about, other than the fact that it is a game that people play. It looks like these are going for about $10. I paid $2 at a yard sale. I have not watched the movie, but I've seen trailers for Kiki's Delivery Service, and for some reason I didn't realize that it was actually based off of a book. The classic that inspired the beloved animated film. Not sure, but I did grab it because I recognized the title from the movie. Now, obviously this is missing the dust jacket to it. But what caught my attention was the side. It's Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing. This is a new book, just released within the last couple of months, and the new books are selling, I think they're selling for like $25 because it's a hardcover. And also what caught my attention was because the edging is black, not white. But yeah, open it up and it's still in good condition. It's just missing the dust jacket. So I have not read the series. I have been looking for them, but I don't know if it would be worth putting it up without the dust jacket or not, or just going ahead and keeping it for myself. But I paid 50 cents for it. So even if, it's something that I end up not keeping, there is a local book exchange that I do, and I might put it in there. The Dragon Riders of Perm by Anne McCaffrey. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how old or long the series is, but I do know that vintage science fiction books will go. I don't know the authors' names, unfortunately, to give you. I would think, this is me guessing, but I would think that Ray Bradbury and Douglas Adams might be ones, but again, that's just because those are the ones that I know, and those are the ones whose books I really enjoyed. Anyway, I have not read the Dragon Riders of Pern. This is numbers 1 through 3. I picked this book up for 50 cents. I don't believe that this particular omnibus is going for very much, but if you can find a few of them to sell in a lot, then they seem to be going for quite a good amount of money. Is this episode 1 binder? The front, you're going to see Anakin and Jar Jar Binks, and then the back is Sebulba and Watto. Open it up, it looks like that is the pod race. I paid 50 cents for this, and I kind of want to keep it for myself, for my own collection, but they look to be going for about $20 on eBay, which seemed crazy to me, and what am I going to put in it, I guess. But yeah, 50 cents for this. I did not know that Ronald McDonald had a cartoon. It looks like there are 5 or 6 other VHS tapes that you can get of Ronald. This one is The Visitors from Outer Space. Yeah, I really feel like there's like 6 other ones that you can get. Now, I don't know if this is something that they sold with Happy Meals, or if this was something that was completely separate that you had to come in and get during special times. I'm not sure. And they're really not going for much by themselves, but if you can find the other ones that go with it, awesome. This one is not really worth much. I think it's less than 5, but it's Beakman's World. I don't remember watching Beakman's World as much as I watched Bill Nye, but it's around the same time period. So it's not going for very much, but for nostalgia points, oh my goodness, skyrocketed. So this game is Magic Trolls End of the Rainbow, and it looks like it is selling for around $45. Now this game, it's supposed to have 36 cards, and it only has 33, and then it's missing the game tokens with the bases, the game pieces for moving them around. But I mean, I have the rest of them, and I think it should still sell. I'm not sure how much it's going to sell for, but I know that game replacement pieces do sell on eBay, so we'll see what I can do. But if you find the game complete, that should get you about $50. This game is called Alien Autopsy. I paid $2 for it, which the Magic Trolls game I paid $1 for. And this one, there are a couple of different Alien Autopsy games out there. There is a 3D version. This is not it. This game is selling for between $20 and $40, obviously depending on on the condition of the game. It looks like everything is here for it though, so I think I should be able to get that $40 range out of it. But yeah, there is a 3D version that you can get. I don't know if it goes with a certain movie or anything like that, but I do know that there's one out there. The item that I was really excited about getting was this game right here. I paid $2 for it. It is Goosebumps, Terror in the Graveyard game. There are a couple of different Goosebumps games, but this seems to be the one that's really worth getting. And I haven't checked to make sure that all the pieces are still there. However, it looks like it is going for $40 to $60 depending. And you know, again, I paid $2 for it. But I just, anything Goosebumps sells. If you know, the books, especially in the movies, but if you find any of the toys or any of the other merchandising stuff, get it. If it says Goosebumps on it, it's gonna sell. Any of the books or movies that I have listed is sold. I don't have anything left, so they are definitely going, and I recommend getting them. But yeah, Terror in the Graveyard, definitely worth getting. I think another one is called like Shrieks and Screams or something like that. And it's not to say that the other games don't sell. It's just this seems to be the one that's really the money maker. So, but yeah, anything Goosebumps, I really recommend getting. Thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. I know that it's a little bit of a different viewpoint. I am trying a new camera, and I haven't decided if I like it or not. This is the second time that I'm doing the video. It's just weird the way that the camera is. I just haven't learned it yet. So I'm still working on things, but I'm hoping that you were still able to get the information that you're looking for when you watch my videos. Please like and share. Lets me know that I'm doing a good job. You know how I like getting those gold stars. If you'd like to take a look at the shop, I am Thrift Wizard on eBay. You can find pretty much anything that I've shown here in previous videos, unless obviously I've already sold it. The YouTube page, let other people know how fantastic it is, and it also lets me know that what I'm doing is working and that people are enjoying the content. Again, my name is Summer, and I'll see you next time, friends.